Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi to my new subscribers, and if you've been here throughout this journey with me, hello. So before I start, may I just state that this video has been brought to you in collaborations with Nurses.co.uk, and with that being said, let's begin this video. So I am currently in the university studying nursing. I am in my second year. The only reason why I've stated this now is just for you guys to be able to understand like the level of knowledge that I have concerning certain things, because I do believe that your experiences might be different to mine. The first interview is in regards to trying to get a job as an HCA, which is a healthcare assistant, whilst the second interview is going to be about applying to be a student nurse and how the process was for me. In the UK, we have something called UCAS, like an online software that allows students to make their choices as to which university they want to go to. When I applied for nursing, the first step that I had to go through was the numeracy and literacy test. The numeracy test is just to test your skills when it comes to mathematics, whilst the literacy test was just there to test your oral knowledge in terms of English and also like your written words and stuff like that. Obviously, we all know that if you're going to be in the hospital, you're going to have to deal with drugs, and drug calculations has to be on point. And when it comes to the oral side, you're going to be involved in writing documentations, and you're going to be involved in speaking to patients and also having to know the right terminologies to use. So that's the main point of the numeracy and literacy test. Now the next stage for me was the interview stage, because I did scale through with my numeracy and literacy test. In the interview stage, I went through 3 sections. Now the first section was a group task. This group task allows you to interact with other applicants who are also trying to get into the nursing degree. So in this group task, you get to have discussions. But I noticed that whilst we were having discussions, we were being observed by the staff who was in the room with us. I feel like they just wanted to see the type of personalities that we were, in terms of those who were aggressive or those who were assertive, and I think they wanted to just see how well we would work in a group. But in nursing, one of the things that you have to learn to do is to be able to work well in a group, because when it comes to being in a hospital, you are going to have to work with doctors, you're going to have to work in a whole multidisciplinary team. After this section, I got to go to the next stage, which was an interview with a service user. This interview was with an elderly patient, and I was asked different questions. One of the questions I can remember answering was, how do you ensure that a patient is dignified during care? The only way I could answer this question was by relating it to what I'd done so far. I had to interpret it by using my previous experiences. For instance, if I was going to give a patient personal care, the first thing I have to ensure is that their privacy is being respected. So for instance, shutting the curtains and the blinds, making sure that they've got like clothes to cover themselves when they're not necessarily getting the physical care, asking them questions, asking for permission, gaining consent. That way I can ensure that my patient feels dignified, because they are also getting involved in the care process. And that was literally the answer that I gave for that question. So I do hope that that helps anyone, just in case you're ever going to get asked that sort of question. Just relate it to your experiences. To the final round of the interview. Now this section of the interview, I got to speak to the university lecturers, and this bit wasn't easy. So I got asked different questions, but they were all relevant questions that had to do with nursing. So if you're ever going to go to an interview, make sure that you prepare for the questions that are relevant to your practice. So I got asked questions such as, what is the NMC code of conduct? What are the 6 C's of nursing? I was asked about my opinions on the current issues and the current affairs of nursing. I think I also got asked like a scenario-based question, and also my opinion on a scandal that happened in hair, and like what my opinions were. I answered all the questions. When I didn't understand what was being said, I asked again. I had to take my time to answer the questions. I had to remain calm, I had to smile, I had to remain positive. The last thing that I made sure I did was also to ask questions. I wasn't really like so eager to just get out of the interview room. I feel like if you go in with a mentality of being scared and afraid and just wanting to go and get everything done and sorted, that in itself kind of affects your interview, because this interviewers can read your body language, so they know if you want to be there and they know if you just want to get out or if you want to run away. That's what happened when I applied to study nursing, and the interview process, very lengthy, but yeah. So getting a job in healthcare was different for me. It wasn't through an online process, it was actually through a referral by someone I knew about a particular agency. That being said, you can get jobs via the internet, and I think that's what Nurses.co.uk do. They actually provide different jobs on their website in healthcare, so if you do want to check them out, better do. But the reason why I decided to proceed with this referral was because I believe that with whatever company or with whatever agency I work for, I want to make sure that their staff are happy to be there. That would mean that I would enjoy my experience working for them as well. I reached out to this company by giving them a call, asking questions that I needed to know, and they ended up sending me like all the information to apply for the job via email. Filled in the form, did all I needed to do, and I sent everything back for an interview. Now with the interview, they give you all the information that you need to know, such as bringing your certificates, bringing your passport, if you have a driving license, any experience that you have, any certificates from that, bring it along with you. I did. I was asked about myself, I was asked about my experiences so far in that line of work. However, as I said, this was my first time going into that line of work anyways. I was asked if I understood the job description properly, and I think I was also asked like scenario based questions, and if I didn't know the answers, they actually told me the answers. If there's one thing that I've learned with like interviews when it comes to care, it's okay not to know stuff. However, it's not okay to be ignorant, to be honest. So the interview wasn't just for me to also speak, but I was also getting educated and also learning more as well. After the interview, I had to get my DBS done. When it comes to working in any care industry in the UK, you have to have your DBS done, and that's basically just to check if you've got any criminal convictions that might affect where you're working at, if you get what I'm saying. I didn't have any criminal convictions when the results came back. I was fine, I was clean, and the next stage was for me to go through my training. Now there are different types of trainings which I will state. After that, I started working, and that was like literally my whole experience, like the whole process. I know I've spoken about it and it can seem lengthy, but I scaled through both interviews by doing all of these things that I've spoken to you about. You can also, you know, state your own experiences or tell me about your experiences by commenting below. If you'd like to know more about Nurses.co.uk, there'll be a link to their website in the description box. You can check it out, and I hope that helps you. Anyways guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.